Hey, here we go. What's going on, everybody? It is Apollo here from Arsenal 101. What is happening, everybody? Everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm with Jamie from Leicester Fan TV. Jamie, how are you getting on, mate? In the nice
I'm
sunny
good.
weather.
Evening, Apollo. Yes, it is not. Well, no, it's a bit night-time-ish now. It's a bit dark outside. The sun's gone down, but it's lovely in Mallorca at this time of year. North of the island in Alcudia, it's fantastic. It's lovely. Just looking forward to tomorrow's game. Are you, pal? You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I tell you what, I am so up for this because it's going to tell us so much about where we have come from so far. A lot of things are going on with Arsenal in the fan base, and we really don't know where we are as a club at this point. And we're at the stage where we've had such a good record when we've had a starting team playing. We started off, as you know, with those 3 losses at the beginning of the season where we had 9 players out, 3 injuries, 6 in COVID. And I think in other times, in hindsight, looking back on it, I probably would have thought to myself, well, is it something that the FA could have cancelled? Because we just didn't. When you got 6 players ravishing the team with COVID, is it fair to a team that they have to submit, 5, 6 players under the age of 21 against the likes of Brentford, Chelsea, Man City? I mean, that is like lambs to the slaughter. And so I tried to not get too carried away with those results because I knew exactly, what was going on was going to affect us in a mental state. So I'm happy to see that Arsenal have gone, 7, 8 games now without a loss. And so Leicester are going to tell us everything about ourselves and how far we've come. And I see you smiling there because...
You're saying you've gone unbeaten in 8 games. You've only scored 1 away league goal this year, though, in 5 games, is it? I think you beat Burnley 1-0. So you've scored 1 away goal. We're on a run of 5 undefeated games, 1 draw against Palace, then the next game's 4 wins. So we're on an undefeated run. You've got to watch out because Jamie Vardy he's on a bit of a blip at the minute. He's fit to play, Jamie Vardy, tomorrow, but he's on a bit of a blip. He didn't score against Brentford. He didn't score against Brentford. 45 minutes he was on. He didn't score. So you watch. Your defence will be terrified when Vardy gets that ball tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we're terrified of Vardy because he always scores against us.
I think he's got 11 in 13 Vardy's got against Arsenal.
Yeah. It's just, he always scores against Arsenal. No matter what happens, he's got such a fantastic scoring record against us, and we know it's coming. Even in their poorest runs, he just seems to get a goal out of nowhere. And look, he's the total package as a striker. I think, in my opinion, as far as a lot of people say Kane might do this or Aguero did that, or Salah, Liverpool might be doing other. But in terms of movement, I don't think there's anybody that moves around the box better than Jamie Vardy, and that's why he gets himself into those positions and gets so many goals. So
you mentioned Harry Kane there. Everyone compares Harry Kane to Jamie Vardy. Yes, Harry Kane scored a lot of goals for Spurs. Yes, he scored a lot of goals for the England. But on his CV at the end of the year, end of his career, what has he got on there? Winning the Audi Cup for Spurs. Vardy's got the Championship, the Premiership, the FA Cup, the Community Shield. This year he's going to get the League Cup and maybe the Europa League as well. Well, that's pushing it a bit. I don't know about both of them, but that's what you want, trophies. You want trophies at the end of your career on your CV. Harry Kane hasn't got them, so scrub him off, push him off the list, Apollo. We don't want to talk about him. Jamie Vardy is the man that you've got to watch out tomorrow.
Yeah, because the bottom line is, and every Spurs fan has a nightmare in regards to this, is what have you won? What have you achieved? And that's why he wanted to go to Man City. And I don't know how they stopped him from doing that, but that's Daniel Levy. And whether Harry Kane is 100% fully committed or not, that's for Spurs fans to really talk about. But in regards to where we are at the moment now, Arsenal, as I said, unbeaten in 8. If we don't count the cup games, then it's unbeaten in 6 in the league. But Leicester is going to be a real big test because a lot of reasons, and that is because we see them as competition for that top 6 spot. And that is so important because Leicester are coming off back-to-back Leeds win. The Man United and Brentford wins prove that they're hard to beat, especially at home at the King Power Stadium. Where do you see your current form at the moment? You coming into this game on a high?
Yeah, we're coming onto it high. the way it is, that song, when we will score one more goal than you, that's what it is for Leicester at the minute. The old Vindaloo song, the England song, we will score one more goal, because our defence is a bit of a nightmare at the minute. So we're scoring goals for fun. We scored 10 in 3 games. Sorry, not 10 in 3 games, 8 in 3 games in the league. So, yeah, our defence is a bit dodgy at the minute. Once Johnny Evans plays and he sort of solidifies. He's the glue that makes Soyuncu and Daniel Amati work, that back three. We've changed to a back three now. We're going to play wing backs. And once Johnny Evans is in there, that's what makes it a more defensive, sound situation. So tomorrow, I'll presume it will be Soyuncu and Daniel Amati and Johnny Evans in the middle of them two at the back three.
So this is what I wanted to put up. So where can you see at the bottom of the screen? Where do you see? Is that where you see your team line up, or what would you change in regards to?
No, that is how it has been the last 2 league games. He made 10 changes against Brighton in the cup. The only one that played was Soyuncu. So yeah, I can see that. That was both the games against Man U and Brighton. That team there. So yeah, Maddison's coming back into a bit of form. Nacho scoring goals as well, and he's holding up the play. So yeah. So that is the lineup I would see tomorrow morning at 12:30. Tomorrow lunchtime at 12:30. I can't see being many changes unless there's injuries today. I can't see there being many changes from that.
So and what about Maddison? Do you think Maddison's got something to prove? He's now playing for a team that was talking about offering 60 million for him, and Leicester put the price up to 65, then 70. There was even talks of 75 million, but by that time, and even I came on and I did a video saying, as much as I love Maddison, I would rather use that money on a goalkeeper, a right back, and an attacking midfielder. And that's exactly what we've done. We got in Odegaard, Ramsdale, and Tomiyasu for the money we would have paid for Maddison. So I think Arsenal fans are sort of in good stead now. But where is James Maddison's head right now?
I would say his head is back on the game now. He's probably about 3/4, 75% back to his best. He had a bit of a dodgy time since he had a bit of an incident last year with the COVID-5 party where Rodgers wasn't best pleased about it. And then he had a bit of an injury as well. And I think Maddison is back, not back to his best, but nearly back to his best. We've seen the best from him the last 2 or 3 games. I think he's pulled his socks up, knuckled down, and got on with it. I think Rodgers has put his arm around him. Hasn't blown teacups. I think Rodgers has put his arm around him, had a little bit of a word with him and say, come on, Madders, you've got to do this now. And he is starting to. He got his first contribution against Spartak Moscow the other week in Europa League. He scored his first goal in 22 games. So he's starting to come back against Brentford. So he's coming back to his best, his near best, not quite his best, his near best.
Yeah, because when I looked at it, I was doing all the breakdowns on the goals, and I think he scored 8 goals last season. And then I was talking about in regards to Joe Willock scoring 11. So I was in the summer, I was spitting blood. I was like, so you're going to sell an attacking midfielder like Joe Willock, who got 11 goals last season, which is more than Arsenal's midfield combined, and more than Maddison. And Maddison had played I believe it was 20 more games than Joe Willock, and Joe Willock scored. So I was like, you're going to sell him for 25 million. Then you're going to buy Maddison for 70. It was just it was bonkers. So in the end, look, it is what it is. And Newcastle have got that to deal with because they're not actually playing him as an attacking midfielder now, not an 8. They're playing him like a 6, which is excuse me, this guy can get you double-digit goals as a midfielder, which is gold mined in the Premier League, and you're going to play him as a... I mean, that's you wonder why they haven't won.
They're the richest club in the world now, Newcastle, so they can do what they like.
Yeah, you wonder why they haven't
Newcastle.
scored.
I know. It's strange, very strange.
Lukuke says, hey, it's Jamie. Haven't seen him in a while. A couple of guys remember Jamie from our Friday night Premier League show. It's a bit different because he's an hour ahead, being in the Mediterranean. So, yeah, and we start at 10. So it's I'd love to get him back on the show, but it's really hard to do it because it's very late. And we go on for about an hour and 15 minutes there. G says, interested to see how we go tomorrow. 4-4-2 might not work against a 4-2-3-1. If there's no balance and your wide players have a game off, work perfectly against a 3-5-2 last week. But at the moment, Villa's gone back into their base and we struggle a bit with the dominance and possession. Jack, what's going on, Jack? Big shout out to Jack. Is there from
Jack, yes.
LFTV. Nice one, Jack.
Jack's one of my content buddies.
Excellent. Big shout out to you, Jack. And Steve, Daka to come off the bench and score the winner. And Mr. Bundle said, what's cooking?
Patson Daka, quality player, perfect replacement for Jamie Vardy in the future. Vardy hasn't got long left. I'm glad Steve said that. Yeah. Daka, I don't think he'll get many starts in the Premier League this year, but he will start in the Cup games and the Europa League games as well. But Daka will be Vardy's replacement because he knows where the back of the net is. He scores with his left foot. He scores with his right foot. I haven't seen him score one with his head yet, but he scores with both feet, which is a cracking start. So, yeah, Vardy, if Vardy finishes in, say, I don't know, 2 years, maybe 2 more full seasons after this one, he's 35 in January. So, yeah, Patson Daka will be the man that steps up to take Jamie Vardy's place. So, hopefully, another bargain. 23 million from Salzburg in the Austrian league. Perfect. 23 million paid for him, and he looks like a bargain. Liverpool wanted him. He looks like a bargain of the year.
See, you know what I said to when Arsenal fans said they wanted said they want James Maddison. I always said to them in the summer, I said, look, Maddison would be great, but I want the guy who Leicester are going to replace Maddison with. That's who, because teams like Leicester City have got and Southampton, the likes of Southampton. They've just got a knack for bringing in players and finding that deals that they can actually offload and lose those players. I mean, look at Ndidi and all them other guys. You just have the ability to get these players in, and when you sell somebody, if you get rid of a Drinkwater, if you get rid of another player who's done really well for you guys, you just bounce back, and it's like you're still there competing for the top 4, no drop off. And it's like, how do they do it? How do they maintain that standard of excellence?
We sold. Everyone knows. If everyone's watching on Leicester Fan TV, they know what I'm going to say here now. When you said about our recruitment, we sold Harry Maguire for £80 million. Actually, it was 85 with add-ons and that. We had Man United pants down because we got defensively better when Maguire left, and it showed how Man U were playing. So we got defensively better. So our recruitment with Kagalar Soyuncu coming in, Mr. Massive, he improved it. So yeah, we got 80 million from Man U quite easily, and put Soyuncu in. Quality player Soyuncu is. Filled a gap. Like you say, our recruitment's fantastic. Dakar, Sumer played for Lille last year that beat PSG to their league title. Centre midfield. And he can't get in. He can't get into our team regular because of Ndidi. And now he's come in because Ndidi's injured. The thing with Ndidi though, Apollo, he was back in training this week after a hamstring injury. So whether it might be a bit early tomorrow, you might see him on the bench, Ndidi. But I think you'll see like the team just there. You had Sumer there, a bit early for Ndidi. But yeah, two quality players we bought in Datsun, Pakar, and Sumer as well. So yeah.
So let me talk about Arsenal for a bit, and then we'll ask some questions about Leicester. So Arsenal have won. I think they won on the last trip there 3-1, and then they won in the League Cup there as well. And I know a lot of players are rested for that. So, is it really a victory that we can talk about that as competitively? But Arsenal actually lost 3 games before that. And in my opinion, it's not going to be an easy game. I think Arsenal fans they understand that. I think they do. I think they know that this is going to be the biggest test for us since they've had all the players back from the injuries and the illnesses. And this will tell us a lot about ourselves. I've got a lot riding on this game because there's still a section of fans that want Arteta out. And we've had from 1 or 2 people, and one of them actually in the chat room, I'm talking about UG, have said if Arsenal win this game, they will be fully on board with Arteta in. So it means a lot to us. And in regards to the team sheet, I don't think there's going to be an issue with Aaron Ramsdale. He starts. There's no doubt in the back 4 as well. Kieran Tierney, I know that he's coming back from a bruised ankle injury, and Ben White is recovering from that bug. Ben White didn't practice today, but I think he'll be all right. It will be a game time decision, and I think he'll play. So the back 4 is going to be Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, and I've got Tierney up there, but I think that they're going to go with Tavares again. He's much more dangerous, 2-footed, lightning quick. This guy's Theo Walcott quick, and people were shocked when they saw his performance at Villa because they was like, I can't believe this guy came in, got 8 out of 10 straight away which is actually a better performance than what Tierney has had all season long. So I think that sets the back four. But will Arsenal play a similar system to the one that worked against Villa? I'm not really sure whether they'll do that. I think that might be a plan B, and they might revert back to the 4-3-3. I'm just not sure. But where it is now, I think that the midfield, the holding two, would still go with the double pivot of Sambi and Partey, and then they will go with, again, they'll go with Smith Rowe on the left, Saka. Well, I wouldn't play Saka. I would put Pepe on the right, Smith Rowe on the left, Aubameyang in the middle, and play Lacazette just behind him. That's what I would do moving forward. I think for Leicester, I just wanted to ask a couple of questions in terms of Leicester, because we all want to know what's going on with Leicester City and what your expectations are. And one of the first questions is, does Leicester still have the squad to make the Champions League and finish in the top four? Or have they missed their chance?
I think...
Because let's be fair, they didn't make the top four because they had a great first 11, but it was the squad of 25. When players dropped out, the replacements, it just wasn't up to standards.
Yeah, the way that Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool have all improved their squads. I was going to say Man U, but let's not talk about them. Ollie's at the wheel, so we don't have to talk about them. They're fine. They are. They've improved their squads quite significantly. I think the places up for grabs are 5th and 6th and 7th, and maybe fourth, just depending on how Spurs and you and Spurs get on. I don't think we're going to quite get to the Champions League this year in the top four. I think it's going to be another Europa League again for us last year. We have started the season badly, and hopefully we're picking up. With the last few years, we've started well and then tailed off at the end. So hopefully we should be able to turn it around and push. We're only 8 points behind Chelsea. We've still got the big boys to play. So there's some 6 pointers in that top four to play for. But in my hearts of hearts, I think it'll be Europa League again next year, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'd love it to be Champions League. I really would, but I think it would be Europa League because the so-called top four, or the big four, whatever you want to call it now, have improved significantly compared to us.
Yeah. And that's why I've always said to Arsenal fans, even in the podcast last week that we did, and they were talking about, yes, when we're going to get a striker next season, I want it to be a £60 million striker. And I was just like, and they were saying, yeah, and he's got to demand a salary of around 200 grand, 250 grand. And I was like, guys, we're not in that market. those strikers you're talking about want to play in the Champions League. That's not Arsenal's market. Arsenal's market is the Ollie Watkins, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Whether Isak would come to the team or not would greatly depend on our finishing position. And I said that we won't finish any better than 8, and that might change now because we'll review that later on. But I just didn't think the team was any good enough. But I'm happy with the transfer business that Arsenal's done. And for me, the top four are a light year away from 5th, 6th. We can talk about Spurs, West Ham, Leicester City. You might want to bring Arsenal into that mix, but it's not even close. The level of where they have gone through. You look at people like Sancho, who Man United have bought, who ain't even getting a game these days. Sterling is still not holding down a proper position. That's the level of that we have to deal with. And unfortunately, those teams are just not at the races at the moment. So Europa League spots, great, but I think why everybody's happy is because you want someone in the top four to drop out. You want someone to stick up the joint that badly that we can nick that spot. And so far, that's Man United. And let's be honest, if they sack Ollie, which probably looks like it might happen if the results don't improve, then we got a chance. And teams like Leicester have got a chance. And West Ham have got a chance. So I think you answered this previously before in terms of Vardy's replacement, Daka. But who would you want to be the replacement, and who do you think the replacement will be?
Well, now I've seen Patson Daka. At the minute, it's got to be Patson Daka. He's going to be here for a few years, sign a decent contract. So I honestly can't see further past Patson Daka at the minute, to be honest, pal. Like I say, Vardy's a couple of years away from the end. So, yeah, it's got to be Daka that we place him. He's brought him in early enough. to get him used to the squad, get him used to the Premier League, and he will take over. And you'll see over the next couple of years, there'll be a transition of Vardy and Dakar a bit more. So, yeah, for me, now I've seen him, Patson Dakar. I really do.
Excellent.
He knows where I said, he knows where the back of the net is.
Excellent. And let's see what these guys are. Steve is saying Daka will come off the bench to score the winner, which I think I put up there before. Mr. Bunker says, easy way to beat the Foxes, kick lumps out of Vardy, job done. It might be the way, because we've never taken that approach before.
No, Arsenal don't play that way, do they?
No, they don't. Vincey is saying, not unless Xhaka's on the field, but that's not going to happen. Vincey, big shout out to you, my friend. What's up, bro? What's up? Let's get you guys in the chat. Let's get your predictions for the game as well. Steve says Daka also will replace Vardy. It seems to be someone very popular with the Leicester fans. And also, I've got players down here. What's the injury report looking like for you guys? Who do you think is going to make it? Who do you think is going to drop out?
Well, like you put that team up earlier, I don't think there'll be any changes from it. Vardy had a bit of a knock. He's now fit. Perez went down with an illness. He played last week against Brentford. Ricardo Pereira had an ACL injury back in, I can't remember, but he's come back. He's not fully fit, but he's about there. He's back at fullback. Castagne at the other side. Johnny Evans is back fit. He's played 3 out of the last 4 games. So at the minute, apart from Wilf and James Justin, we've got a clean bill of health at the minute. So hopefully we'll have a full squad to pick from tomorrow, which is good news for us. It's not like Liverpool that have got about a dozen players out and just moan and moan and moan. And we just get on with it. We get on with it. We had about 6 or 7 last year. We just got on with it. So, we've got very nearly 100% clean bill of health, which is great news.
Excellent. I think this is the biggest question that I have for you today, and I say that because I'm living in a world of false expectations from Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans still think that this is the Invincibles team that have the royal right to go in and finish in the top 4, and without taking into consideration the parity that is in the league and the level of competition that we have to face in every game. You know, every week, most Arsenal fans think, oh, easy win, easy win, easy win. And that's just, and I've been for the last few seasons, but saying to Arsenal fans, no, this is the Premier League. If you walk in unprepared, you're going to be sent home with your tail between your legs. This league is hyper competitive. It's almost like, as I said, that Arsenal fans are privileged. It really is almost like that we are privileged. So I love it. I was in Barcelona one time, and this is a couple of years back. This is just after Leicester won the title, and I met up with a lot of Leicester fans in Spain on the way to see Barcelona play. It was a friendly at that point, and they were just happy to be there. They said, Apollo, look at us. We're here at the new camp playing Barcelona. That is amazing. And they sort of, you could see the passion, and it's just where they want to be. And so my question for you is, how has winning the title changed your expectations?
Well, if it wasn't for this man, Vichai, the chairman, who sadly, it's 3 years ago this week, on Wednesday, that the accidents happened, we would have never won that league. But the bugbear that I have now, it's, if you watch my shows a lot, it's the here and now that counts. It's not what happened in the past. I know we won the league, we won the FA Cup, we won the community. That sounds good, doesn't it? Won the Premier League, won the FA Cup, won the community. That sounds great. It's the here and now that counts, I'm afraid. To me, history is great. History is fantastic. I have a lot of banter with Forest and Derby fans that keep going on about 75 and 78 and when Forest won the European Cup back then when it was cool. It's the here and now that counts. A lot of the expectations of our fans, the year after year, we're going to win this, we're going to win that. No, we've had to rebuild a little bit. We've got a new training ground. It's been absolutely fantastic. But it's the here and now that counts. We have to buckle down now. Take what, I know it's an old adage, take one game at a time and sit and just play each game differently and how it comes. So for me, Apollo, it's, yes, the fans we're expecting too much too quickly and expect, let's go out buy £80 million player, let's 60. We're not going to be able to afford them players. 25 to 30 million, maybe 35 million. But it's the here and now that counts for us. Win a cup this year, another fantastic achievement. I don't think we'll ever, I don't think we'll not ever win the league again, but it might be a while before we build up to it again. We're more going to be winning cups and getting in Europe quite regular. For me, it's the here and now that counts for me, which is what I look forward to. Not the history. I love history. I love stats. I love everything else, but it's the here and now that I'm bothered about.
Yeah, and I think and that's something that Arsenal fans could learn from, because, as I said, it's almost like there's nothing. It's almost like they won't accept anything other than winning the title, and now it's the top four, and it's just like, have you actually seen the top four? Have you seen how good these teams are in the top four? We are nowhere near that stature yet, and it's gonna take time to get there, and I don't think that the patience is there for a lot of the Arsenal fans and our fan base, but I think it's coming around. I think slowly, I think Arsenal fans are starting to warm up to the program, trust the process. They're trying to work, because there is no other way. The team that we've had was awful. We've let go 21 players, and another 5 or 6 players are going to be moving in the new year. We're just going through this transition, and Rome weren't built in a day. It's going to take time and planning and sourcing the right type of players, and you can't do that with the snap of a finger. So I think Arsenal fans are coming around. I'll go through to a few comments, and then I'll ask you the last question, and then we're pretty much where we are. So some of the guys' predictions are coming up now. We see Mr. Bungle says it's going to be a score draw, so he's 1-1 or 2-2. That's a fair shout. Maybe 2-2. Steve is saying James Justin is coming back soon too. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. G says, let's press them and control the middle of the park. Lucky we all have pacey cornerbacks in Gabriel and Ben White, or Ben Red as them lot call him on the forum, as Vardy will obviously try to threaten in behind. Keeping Tielemans quiet is the key to winning here. And what about Maddison? Don't forget Maddison. If he turns up and scores and proves to Arsenal that they should have pursued him, then we're in big trouble, because he can light it up. I've seen him literally destroy us. I've seen him absolutely rip us apart. People talk about Jack Grealish. I've seen Maddison just tear a hole through Arsenal's midfield time and time again. Steve said it will be 3-1 to the Foxes. That would be an amazing result, and that would break Arsenal's spirit. That would literally destroy Arsenal's spirit.
Right, I'm going to go for a. So I'm getting the evil eye. I'm getting the evil eye from the missus here now. So I'm going to go for a. We're not going to have a clean sheet, that's for certain. It's going to be 2-1 to the Foxes. That's where I'm going to go. And where will we finish this season? Where will we finish? Like I said, I think it'll be in a European place. So it'll be 5th, 6th or 7th. So, yeah, I think we're going to go for a European place this year. Don't think we'll finish lower, but I think it'll be back in Europe. Next few games we'll see up to Christmas, and then we'll see how it goes. And then we'll come back and talk to you in about 3 months when we play you again, and see what my expectations and and what place we'll finish then.
Definitely. All right, listen, Jamie, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it. And
much appreciated.
The best team win. Yeah.
Good luck, but after tomorrow, Apollo.
Yeah, that's it, definitely. All right, all the best, mate. And thanks for you guys who are joining us for today on the preview. And we'll speak to you in the live watch along tomorrow. Jamie, also, they're doing a live watch along, I believe, for the game. Is that right?
Yes, we are. So live watch along tomorrow.
Yeah, so tune in to Leicester Fan TV. Yeah, and 101 on Arsenal. And I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Peace out.